Rescheduled monthly meeting, preliminary budget adoption of March 16, 2020 is called to order at 6:30 p.m. In room 19, can we have roll call, please?
Mr. Banta?
Here.
Dr. Cohen? Here. Mrs. Frankel?
Present.
Mr. Itkin?
Here.
Ms. Quackenbush? Here. Mr. Rosenberg?
Here.
Mr. Santana?
Here.
Mr. Spindell?
Present.
Mr. Barbarulo?
Here. The New Jersey Open Public Meeting Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of the public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this Act, the Fairlawn Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof distributed to the persons on the approved list, posted in the Board of Education Administrative Office and sent to the Bergen Record and Star Ledger. The announcement posting for the rescheduled monthly meeting preliminary budget adoption, along with the date, place, and time thereof, was distributed on March 2nd, 2020. The items to be discussed during the closed work session were not having one of the March 16, 2020 rescheduled monthly meeting. Preliminary budget adoption may include personnel matters, student matters, legal matters, negotiations, and/or grievances, and tactics and techniques utilized in protecting public safety and property. The results of these discussions will be made public as soon as possible. Would you please join me for a flag salute? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, before I turn it over to the superintendent, I want to read an announcement for the public. This is an unprecedented time in our country, state, county, and this town. The board cannot speak about what happens outside of Fairlawn, but regarding the closing of schools for 2 weeks, we can have a say. This district was given a monumental task to complete in a very short period of time. Many districts did not start till end of last week. Mrs. Narcia, the central office staff, the school level administrators, teachers, and support staff came together and devised an outstanding plan to deal with this unique and extremely difficult situation. The amount of planning, time, and effort expended by our employees in preparing and now executing this distance learning plan is a testament to their dedication to the children of Fairlawn. Mr. Narcia was on the phone constantly with the State Board of Ed, Governor's Office, Mayor's Office, other superintendents, and the county superintendent regarding this situation. There has been a very small but vocal minority of people who have criticized personally, attacked, cast aspirations upon, and demeaned our employees in the plan that was put together. They are entitled to their opinion, but I want to say on behalf of the Board of Education, we could be not more proud of our people and what they have done. We thank them for their efforts, and should the situation continue or worsen, we have every confidence in their ability to deal with it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, it's up to you.
Thank you, Mr. Margarolo. So a couple of things tonight. Obviously, we're running our meeting a little bit different due to what's going on in the state and in the world at this point with the coronavirus. Trying not to spread it any more than possible. We closed our meeting to the public, also in conjunction with directives we were given by the county executive. So, but we did not want to close it to the public completely to comply with law. So we do have public comments open during that portion of the meeting. So if you're live streaming, I will unlock the public comments portion when we get to that, and you can type in any questions. They're up here, and I have them on my laptop as well. But before we start, I just want to thank you. I want to thank the board. I want to thank the community. I want to thank our teachers, our staff, our almost 1,000 employees that we have here. Really rose to the occasion this last week. You know, 2 weeks ago, this came upon us, and it was something that, you know, we kept our eye on. We said, wow, it's getting a little bit close to home. And within a couple of days, we said, all right, we need to be very proactive about this and not reactive. And we pulled our staff together in a week without closing school last week. We did use a day on Friday, but that was just to fine tune our final plan. But on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, pulling teachers in from all different levels, supervisors, administrators, everybody we could possibly think of who could work on this plan while we still educated our students here and staff. And I was very proud to be able to roll that out today and see a lot of the positive responses that we received from the parents. The positives 1,000% outweighed the very few negatives that we may have received. In front of you, I have a packet of a lot of children working today. The parents were sending us emails, so happy and so proud to show what a great job their children were doing. This is why we do what we do, and this is what puts a smile on your face. So I want to share that with you. I know that you can't see it at home public, but I did share this with the board members so they could take a look at it. With that being said, I just want to say that we are ready. We are still moving along. We have everybody at home working from devices, whatever device it may be. We surveyed parents to find out what devices they had at home or what they were lacking and what we can do as a district to help them. Just not even a half hour ago, I had a father here who I was helping access the internet from home. So I mean, we are open and we are working. Nobody may be here, but education is still happening in Fair Lawn. Continuity, stability, that's something that Fair Lawn always prides themselves on, and that's something that's continuing to happen. The continuity of education did not stop here. I am not knocking any other school districts. All I could do is talk about what we did here, and we didn't skip a beat. Is it different? Yes, it's different. Last Thursday, we had 5,400 kids being educated within the walls of our school. Today, we had 5,400 students being educated at home, while parents were trying to work from home, while kids, their own kids, they're watching at home. So we have teachers working from home with their own kids, we have parents working from home, we are educating at home. That mind shift to do in 1 week, to go from educating in the classroom to educating at home with all the different variables, dogs barking, Amazon ringing the bell, dropping off paper towels, whatever it may be. It's a mind shift. It's a mind, if you can get paper towels at home, but it is a mind shift. But I'm proud of our staff, I'm extremely proud of our community, and I'm proud of Fair Lawn, because we always rise to the occasion, we always do the right thing by our students, and I'm proud we did it again. So with that being said, we unfortunately have to end this meeting by 7:30 because there is a curfew, state mandated curfew. So I'm going to stop talking, I'm going to move it along to business of the agenda.
Does any board members have any comments on the agenda? Mike?
First of all, I want to say that as far as the budget is concerned, after the budget hearing and after hearing everything that Brooke and Nick told us, and all the information that was given to us sent home, I am in full agreement with the budget as it was written, because it was the lower amount of the two that we had, that we were looking at. So I'm glad that you got it to that lower amount. I also want to really thank the Packer family for their new scholarship. If anyone ever goes to the high school scholarship presentation, it is something to see. The amount of kids that get scholarships from Fair Lawn, some the guidance department and the school administration pick, but a lot of times the people that pick the scholarship winners are the families that are donating money to our students, and I can't thank them enough. So thank you, Packer family, and thank you for the gifts for F1 towards military appreciation monuments. There's a bunch for the high school. Thank you.
Elise?
So I just also wanted to thank you for excellent budget presentations and a sound budget. And I happen to know the Packers. One of their daughters was the band leader when she was a senior, and the other one is a professional musician now. And I just wanted to say thank you to them as well.
Vlad? I got you, Emily.
You guys give me, I can be lost. Whatever else.
Doesn't matter, go
Okay,
ahead.
all right, fine. So a couple of comments. First, on item, last line on page 14, item P5B. Sure,
That's all right.
yes, that's fine. Item P, last line on page 14, item P5B. This is the bottom table on this page, high school. Thank you for fixing the mistake, which was fixed as a result of one of my questions. You corrected the step. It used to be step 1, it is now step 3. Step 3 is correct. So thank you. I know this version does not have the yellow highlighting, but I just happened to notice it. That's first comment. Second comment about the budget. We were given the average dollar increases per month, per average household, as well as percentages. As I mentioned, the dollar increases per month per household, I don't want to say that they're wrong, but I suspect that there might be some accidental mistake in those numbers. I'm not saying that anybody is trying to do anything suspicious here, no. I believe that there is a chance that somebody might have made an honest mistake, because the numbers of average dollar increase per month per average household, that the few numbers were given, they just don't look right to me. The percentages though, that I calculated myself, the percentages of tax increase in this budget, before debt service, it is 1.91%. After debt service, it is 2.26%. That's it.
You were gonna send us your calculations, I never got them.
I did.
I never got them. I never got them. Cause I left.
What's in the budget presentation reflects that information, and what's on the resolution matches the monthly dollar amount that was discussed at $13.44. There was a revision to the tax levy on the resolution side, so this resolution is $20,000 less on the
Yes.
tax levy, yeah.
And yes, I noticed that, thank you for that, yes.
Thank you. Emily?
Well, here on the Board of Education, we're all volunteers, and we're all doing the absolute best we can in the context of an increasingly impossible situation for many people. And I am gonna be abstaining a lot on this agenda because under the circumstances, I haven't had time to read it as carefully. There hasn't been time to really ask additional questions of central administration before this meeting. Emails coming out just this afternoon, meeting time pushed from 8 to 6:30, with an already very limited time to work and concentrate without children needing their parents. I just can't, in good faith, understand exactly what I'm voting on enough to make an educated decision. For example, Mike just said that we're voting on the lower of the two options. I don't understand that at this point. I thought we were presented two options, and I thought we were voting on the higher of the two options. He's saying we're voting on the lower. So I'm just gonna, I know you all have to get through this. In an ideal circumstance, I wish we would have actually postponed this meeting till Thursday when it was originally scheduled and had a couple more days to process this. But I understand the reasons for wanting to just move forward, and I respect that, so I'm just gonna be personally abstaining this time around. That's all.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, everyone. On G1, page 3, I will be voting yes, but I will be abstaining from the closed session when I participated on the public meeting via telephone. Make you notice thereof, please.
What page?
G1, the executive closed session.
Page 3.
He wasn't here. That's it?
No,
Oh.
not yet. Although I received information from the administration on SE1, page 17, being that the governor issued a notice closing all public and private school by this Wednesday, I would like to request respectfully from the administration that we be provided with information in terms of what will be the approximate savings for transportation costs as a result of the closing of private and public schools effective Wednesday. At a timely fashion, I would like to have that information. On B1,
What was that one, B?
B1B,
Got a page number? What? 19. On 19? Thank you. Okay.
no, not B1B, on B1A. B1A, I would like to.
Page 18.
Thank you.
I would like to request, once the budget had been official, that the district respectfully post the last 5 budgets online. I understand they are, some of these past budgets are available at the library, but people should have the convenience of accessing these public documents online from the comfort of their home. If we're asking citizens from the comfort of their home to help their children do online
Alright, so
assignments,
you wanna
we
post it?
should have,
You wanna post it on the district? Do you want them to do that after it's approved, the last 5 years?
the current one, once it's official, in
Yeah,
the last
let's-
5 years.
Okay, so
And
6
it will-
years altogether then.
Yes,
Okay.
it will add a higher level of transparency.
Okay, but I don't wanna keep going on, we really gotta get out of here by 7:30, so that's what you want, that's what we're gonna do, it's not.
Okay, let me,
Oh, yeah.
comments.
Yeah, we gotta make sure the board is. No, I'm saying, Wilton, I don't wanna go on about the taxes and everything, I
Oh,
wanna
I'm
just keep going. I wanna get to the point where we're gonna do the agenda,
I-
because we have a lot, and plus the people ask us questions, so go ahead.
I understand, I wanna go quick. New business. On B1A, okay, I do agree, I concur with the comments of my fellow board member, Dr. Coyne. I feel that I understand the circumstances that led to the change of time for this meeting. However, everything on this agenda, and every agenda, it's of paramount importance in our community. And although we have a very tight, we have a time constraint, I have enough information to justify my vote. And B1A, I would not be supporting, it. I think it's about time we move in a different direction. And although I may be on the minority on the vote, I think we need to watch the money. The homes are not ATM machines. We need to watch the money in the taxes. On P6B, I want to be very careful on the comments. I did,
What is it, what page?
on P6B, page 15, I want to be very careful with my comments, which I have already reached out to the New Jersey School Board Association before I make my comments, all right? I support the contract for the superintendent, however, I do not agree with some of the terms, and because of that, I will be voting no on it. The rest of my comments will be on new business about the new process that we have for online learning. Thank you.
Okay. Any more comments?
So, before we go to public comments, I just want to say that, you know, in fairness to the budget process, I know there were some comments about it. You know, we had a strict budget timeline that we stuck to. We had this meeting scheduled. This was not a new meeting. This meeting was always scheduled for it. We had budget committee meetings. We had a budget timeline, a budget calendar that went out. We had a work session where we went over the budget, where we presented here. We were here for several hours. We said the maximum amount taxly increase, maximum monthly tax increase, we could go up to $24. We said we made a conscious decision as administrators that we did not want to do that to the public, that we wanted to address staffing at the middle schools and potentially end soft orders. We recommended around $15 and change that night. Since then, our ratables came in, and they came in great for Fair Lawn, which helped us drop our monthly increase again, significantly lower. Since then, in fairness to the public, you should know that we added $500,000 into the budget, and that was as a coronavirus contingency plan due to additional devices we needed to purchase, additional internet for families at home, cleaning of our schools, staffing, reimbursing families for before and after care, paying hourly employees, everything we possibly could. And we presented this to the board last week as well. So right now, our monthly increase is $13.44, the lowest I've ever seen it in Fairlawn history. So I'm not really sure, and I don't want to go back and forth, but we provided all this information in a timely fashion. We know that tonight's meeting is a little short, but to say that we can't vote on the budget because we didn't have time, that's neither here nor there, so I'll leave it up to you. In addition, another comment was about transportation to out-of-district schools for special education students and requesting a cost savings by Wednesday. That will not be possible because we are right now bound by transportation contracts. In addition to the fact that and I spoke with several superintendents and attorneys about this, it is not recommended for us to cancel our transportation at this moment and leave those contracts, because should schools, remember, it's 2 weeks we're closed for, about a week and a half away, give or take, 2 weeks, whatever it is, but should we close the schools and we abandon those contracts, then we may not have buses to put our special education students on to get to those out-of-district schools. So until this all shakes out in the next week or so, and we have a feeling of where we're going here, it's not wise to abandon contracts and then transportation companies go out of business at this point, and then we have to find new buses to get our most needy special ed students to these schools. So today is day one, so my recommendation is to hold off on that, and that's based off a lot of guidance from attorneys as well as other superintendents. We're all kind of holding off and watching this storm and seeing if we could weather it for a couple weeks. With that being said, I am done.
Cindy, you had one comment?
Yes, as far as the posting of the CAFRAs and the AMR online, instead of posting the entire thing, maybe it would be just helpful to post the link to the Department of Education where you can see all of, and you just click it on and it pops up in PDF form. Rather than downloading them onto our website, if we just provide the link, they can click the link and click whatever they want. They can see the AMR, they can see the CAFRA, they can see the years. It's all right there. I provided links to several people over the weekend. It is one click.
Yes, okay, thank you. So you want to say one thing?
Yeah, I just wanted to make a comment, as a senior board member who's been through many budgets and budget years and budget presentations. I think you did an excellent job. I think the budget is phenomenal. I think the idea that we were going to be given two choices and coming from the top, it became one, not a choice, but we're gonna do it this way, which was actually the lower of the two, what we'll call them options. I think that's mindful for the taxpayer, it's mindful as a board member. I think that was the right decision at this time, and I think in light of the crisis that we're in, I want to commend you. I think abstaining sometimes from these things is almost like a cop-out, because an abstention goes with the yes or no vote. So I think, sometimes we're elected to sit here and make decisions, and so I really feel like I'm making, I hope, the right decision, and I'm proud and happy to make that decision as a board member in Fairlawn.
Yeah, Jim?
I agree with Elise. That's it. 100%.
Can I just say one thing? I am totally in favor of the budget, but I just wanted to prove something. How much is our debt service in dollars? About $9, $10?
Yeah, about that. It's $4 million total for payment.
But I need to know the monthly. It's about $9 or $10.
Between $7 and $9.
Okay, so if it's $9, you're asking for a $4 increase. For the $4 increase, we're getting 17 new personnel that's needed for the soft borders, elimination in certain grades, as well as for the teachers in the junior highs. You're getting one-on-one computers for the high school for 11th grade, and I don't have it in front of me, a whole host of other things, and that's $4 raise. So if you forgot the debt service, which the community, the residents voted in favor of, if you forget all of that, You're talking about a $4 raise. What district has a $4 raise?
Just so you know, if you have read the documents that we got, they also cut $1 million of certain things in the budget,
Yeah.
from the budget
Yeah.
from last year. So
Yes.
they did cut it, and I'm just saying, and you know, just that there is a district, another district, they're going up $250 for the year, no debt service. No referendum. I'm just gonna, real quick, I'm gonna go to Emily, because you spoke already, and then I'll go to you real quick, like 2 minutes, 3 minutes,
I
whatever.
just want to say, Mark, I understand that logic, but this is a sticking point for me. If there's a board member who's asked several times for that $4 figure to be confirmed, and we don't have time to actually have them confirm it and say that that's actually what it's gonna be, that's enough to make me uncomfortable.
But in fairness, you know, even in the midst of all the craziness that we were dealt this last week, every question that was asked from this administration, we answered about the budget. Every question for the agenda that was sent our way, we answered. So to say that we didn't have enough time, we weren't asked. So now to say now that we didn't have enough time, the question should have been asked of us.
This is also the preliminary budget. It's not the final.
Yes.
We gotta move on.
All right, Mike.
Just real quick, I just want to remind everybody that last year, at this time, I made a statement that we have to watch it because the budget was going to go up this year. Because if you think that you're going to build buildings, additions to buildings, and not increase the personnel to staff that building, I am in favor immensely of the plan, the new middle school plan. You're hiring employees to staff that middle school so it's done correctly, and our students are getting a lot more out of it next year than, quite frankly, the 5th and 6th graders are getting right now. They are gonna have a phenomenal program next year, and kudos. And I said it last year, at this time, if you expect the budget to go down next year, it's not gonna happen because personnel. And then we as a board decided that we were gonna hire additional personnel to staff, to open some classes to help alleviate soft quarters, which is what this borough asked for. The people of this borough asked for it, we're giving it to them what they wanted. Thank you.
Thanks, Will. All right, guys, I'm gonna go 2 minutes each, and then that's it, no more comments, okay? I gotta get to the agenda. Wilkin, you got 2 minutes.
There are many excuses for raising taxes, but I think what we need to do is do more with less. The people in the private sector do not get the raises that some people in the public sector get, okay? And the borough of Fairlawn have been doing, and they're a public entity, have been doing more with less, consolidating, okay? Not firing people, not laying off people, not having people lose their job, but trying to do things in a more efficient and effective way. That's what I would like to see, okay? And to blame that on the personnel costs, to blame that on other things, it's a way to cop out, like Ms. Franco said. We as board members have to vote in a way that will make the tax dollars of the community more efficient and effective. The district has done an excellent job with the job they have to do. We as board members, we get to decide contracts, we get to decide how to make use of the tax dollars in a more effective and efficient way. I have proposed many ideas, specific ideas to save money. So to blame it on personnel and blame it on other things is to not take your responsibility as a board member seriously, because you get to vote yes or no. You get to vote yes or no on programs. You get to vote yes or no on certain programs that cost money and on certain contracts that cost money. Okay? So when we try to do things in a more effective and efficient manner, not to fire people, not to lay off
All
any
right,
teacher,
you're done.
but to save money and do things like the private sector in an efficient and effective manner.
Okay.
The taxpayers saves money. And that's our job, to make the difficult votes.
You're done. You're done.
Thank
No
you.
more 2 minutes. Vlad, and then I have something to say. Go ahead,
I
Vlad.
guess can start 2 minutes. Two things. First, if I had confidence in the monthly dollar amounts per average household, like Mark said, if I had confidence in these numbers, I would have supported the budget 100%. These are good numbers. The problem is, at this point, I'm not sure these numbers are correct. And again, I'm not accusing anybody. They just don't seem right to me in relation to each other. The $15 and the $11. And with all fairness, the question was sent. I realize it's a difficult question. I realize the administration might not have time to do the research and answer the question properly, but the question was sent.
Which question?
About the monthly dollar amounts, yes.
Okay, well, like I said, again, you said you were gonna send us your
And
stuff, and
I
I never got
apologize,
it.
I must have sent it only to Nick. I apologize, I'll forward it to you.
No, I would like to have what he said, send it to all the board, but anyways.
Yes, I'll send it.
Just real quick, first of all, private sector and the Board of Education are two different things, you can't compare it. We're not Google, we're not IBM. So you got two different budgets, that's number one. Number two, you said in the meeting, make sure we have enough people to fill the buildings. We are, okay? You have to, they cost money, you gotta pay them, okay? There's nothing you can do about it. Listen, everybody's entitled to vote the way they want to, I respect everybody the way they wanna vote. I've been on this board for 9 years, been around it for almost 15 years. I can tell you something, this is one of the best we have ever seen, and you know what, even if the number's $5, $5 over 12 months is $60. That's not too much to ask somebody to pay for a good education, which we're ranked up in the top, okay? I don't care what rankings we do, all right? But again, everybody has their decision to make, that's their prerogative, you wanna vote no, that's fine. I respect what your opinion is as a person, I really do. I'm just saying, to me, education costs money. And if you wanna cut this budget, start cutting programs, go cut teachers and everything else, then you're gonna have too many kids in a class, you're gonna have to be right back where you are, and then people are gonna say, why don't we have the programs the other districts have? Well, we had them, but we cut them. I've been here when they cut programs. No, don't shake your head, Vlad, because I've been here when we cut programs,
I don't
okay?
want to cut the budget.
Yeah, I wanna cut the budget too.
I don't want it.
Oh,
I don't
okay,
want to
I'm
cut
saying,
the
I
budget.
wanna cut the budget too, but you know what? Education costs money, okay? And like I said, you read other districts, you can see what they're charging their taxpayers. So when people say to me, oh, Ridgewood does this one does that, go move there, pay your taxes, and see what they are. All right, we're gonna move to the agenda, public comments, is there any?
So I just opened up the public comments for anybody that's watching at home. I had the poll locked because I didn't want questions come flying in as we were doing the board comments. So I opened up the public comments, see if anything comes in, we'll give it a couple minutes, I don't mind waiting. Hopefully,
Can I go to the first part?
there you go.
There we go.
There you go, that's a long one.
Can you read them, Nick? Because I can't see.
Yes, absolutely. So we have them here, so Paul can see them as well.
Did they say who they are?
Yeah, could you also, please, if you're watching, state your name, but I have a feeling, I know who this person is.
P5.
Point of order, the address also.
Yeah, we told them,
It is from Dawn, that's why.
P5.
B5,
Wait, room.
weight room. I don't think this was posted, also not sure how this was done, in charge of the coaching position, he was approved for this meeting track coach. Position to be in the budget. All right, so what I'll do at this point, especially since we are closed permanently, I'll pull this one from the agenda, so we'll skip over it, because one, the position's not gonna start anyway with the school being closed, but it'll also give me time to make sure it was properly posted, because the last thing we wanna do is an appointed position that wasn't properly posted. So I will be pulling this one from the agenda. All right. How much did administration costs go up this year? I also need you to say, well, I'm not gonna answer any questions
Let's get name and
that
address.
I need a name and an address, so if you're watching from home, that was in my email, we need a name and an address. For all I know, you could be in California or another country writing these questions in. So we're gonna move on to Lauren's, and come back.
It's just a comment.
So Lauren, I wanna acknowledge what a great job the district has done, all right, scroll down, hold on. I want to acknowledge what a great job the district has done in such a short period of time to get us remote learning ready. This has undoubtedly helped protect the health of students, educators, staff, and community in Fair Lawn. Thank you.
Go back up.
Dawn Ebner,
Wait, we gotta go back up to the 1344 or something.
no, that's the one right there.
Post the address.
1344 is incredible, and compared to neighboring municipalities, I think that's very reasonable. Thank you, Ms. Barley, Mr. Garcia, everyone who worked diligently for this amazing budget. Our students deserve the best. Thank you for seeing that. Thank you for giving our kids what they need. Mel, George Shower, what is the projected impact of the school closing on the budget? We understand it might be longer than 2 weeks. What is the projected impact of the school closing on the budget? We understand it might be longer than 2 weeks, but what is the impact on the 2-week closing? What is the funding for the Chromebooks?
you get an address on Fairlawn Avenue.
There are a lot of materials that must be printed for homeschooling. There are options for families without printers at home. What is the real expectation of families with kids in grades K through 3? Many of us working at home can't be possible in a half day. So I'm gonna answer these as best as possible. I don't think Noah wrote that question, but I don't know. But either way, I don't,
There were more questions on the bottom.
I know. Well,
Are these agenda items for, point of order, are these agenda items?
we're gonna lump them in together, to be honest with you, just so we're not gonna do public comments at the end. We're just gonna spend time on the public comments here. I asked Paul if we could do that, he
Yeah,
said
so
fine.
that's
No
what
problem.
we can-
I'm gonna just take a crack and answer some of these in good faith. This one is, we addressed the printing issue today. We put out some helpful tips so that you don't have to print at home. If there was something that said print, we gave alternative options to put those out. And put those out to parents. The budget impact, we're still working through that, and that's why, as I said before, we put an additional $500,000 into this budget for a crisis like this. And that's where also the Chromebook payments are coming from. We purchased additional Chromebooks to help any family out in need during these times. So that's where we were able to address that. As far as families at home, how are they supposed to help their children out? We gave a lot of flexibility. It does not have to be 9 to 1, but we gave that as our guideline, that it could be 9 to 1, but if you want to do a little bit later or earlier, that's fine. And also our teachers will be responding as quick as possible to help out at home. So we understand that this could be difficult, but nobody's being so rigid right now, and that's the most important thing to know, is that we are being flexible and we want to work with you. So I don't want you to be too stringent or hell-bent on that, because we will be willing to work with you. I also said I don't want anybody feeling like they'll be penalized. I met with my whole administrative staff today, and nobody will be penalized if, God forbid, they didn't print out or get to something. We want to, and I spoke with the Bergen Record before actually, we want to make this an enjoyable educational experience as best as possible at home. That's why you saw a lot of choice boards and things along those lines. We want the students to not feel like they're being punished because they're at home. This is vastly different than what a snow day is, but we want to make sure that we can deliver the education as best as possible.
You want to ask the question about administrative costs?
Yeah, how much did the administrative cost go
What's the
up?
address on Fairlawn Avenue?
Brooke, can you answer that?
I have to look it up, I'm sorry.
All right, so we're gonna try to look into the administrative costs as I continue to go.
It's below the regional limit, which is basically, there's no way for us to actually calculate administrative costs as it goes across like all the advertised lines of the budget. It's a calculation that comes out of the software, but I do know that we're below our regional limit, which is what our expectations are. We're generally below what the allowable expense is, so we're not allowed to go over a certain percentage of all administrative costs. But I'll get that information.
Thank you. Dawn Ebner, while I have done this in our school meetings while preparing for distance learning as a result of COVID-19, I would like the public to thank the administration for working in conjunction with the teacher staff and Fairlawn Ed Association to provide a way to continue supporting our students in their learning, as well as other services to meet various needs of our diverse student population. While there may have been and possibly will be some bumps in the road, everyone has been working hard in the best interest of our children. And I want to publicly acknowledge Dawn and her members as well. She has been unbelievable. She has been there every step of the way. I joked and said, I feel like you're on the central office team now at this point. She was here today working with us. Our administrators are here today working with us. She's just been unbelievable to work with during this process, and I can't thank her and her members enough. Simply thank you to the admin and teachers for parents trying to navigate this crazy world right now. Online learning was great for both of my kids and worked well with our 2-parent work from home situation. The middle school construction on hold. No, the middle school, as of right now, the middle school construction is not on hold. We do not know what's coming down the pipeline, but as of right now, middle school construction is still going on right now.
Just a point of information, we might run into a problem with inspections, but the state's working on that, on how we're gonna go forward with all the different building departments, because there are a lot of major school construction projects going on right now. You know, they can't stop.
And the good news is that we are ahead of schedule on the construction as well, so that's also good news as well. So, those are the public
There
comments.
were more questions at the bottom.
No, I answered them, I think, I'll check
No,
again.
it was a.
The weight
like
room
five-
one.
He's gonna check it, he's gonna check it. Why
Weight
can't I
room
answer
one,
that?
again, I answered the weight room, how much the administration cost went up, Brooke answered that. thanking
Well,
the,
not completely, but she's gonna look at it.
adding to the neighboring municipalities, I think that is very reasonable. Dawn, what is it projected? I think one just popped it up top.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank you
answering the
for-
public questions. I answered
You're
every one. If I could
Besides
type, you're
the
welcome.
teachers and the laptops.
Besides adding teachers and new laptops, what else increased this from last year and by what percentage? The only thing that we put into our agenda, into our budget this year is adding new teachers and new administrator, new guidance counselors at the middle schools and laptops at this point, additional one-to-one devices.
I just wanna go back to the admin question, the
Yes.
administrative cost, so the way that this, it actually gets calculated is a per pupil cost, so this is how the software does it, it's $2,042 per pupil. For admin cost, the regional limit is $2,360. So it's no percentage, I can't give a specific percentage, it's more a per pupil cost and,
So are the teachers preparing a better approach in the event that schools do not open in 2 weeks, or right now students can find out to give any feedback on the work they are doing until they return to school? Progress dependent upon teacher feedback. So I know there is ongoing teacher feedback, but to answer that question, it sounds like, what do we do if we don't open in 2 weeks? Well, that was part of our meeting today. We had every administrator here, as well as Dawn and Dr. Stephanie Baptiste-Bosco. We met in this room today, and we worked on the reality, weeks 3 and 4. You know, we have to be prepared for if there are weeks 3 or 4, and what we don't wanna do is wait until weeks 3 or 4 to work on those plans. So we started working on those plans today. We're happy about that, but the teachers are writing back and forth, and we did get a lot of great feedback from parents today about, it was so nice that the teachers are there, writing back and forth and communicating with us throughout the whole process. All right, so at that point, then we're going to end the public comments. We're gonna move on to the agenda.
One more question at the bottom.
There wasn't, well, can I answer every one? I'll check again for you. But if it's locked, I'll lock it so I can check it. And here's the bottom, I'm all the way at the bottom, it's the weight room. And how much did administration costs go up? Thank you to the administration. Anybody see one that I missed? If I did, I apologize, I'm wrong, but I don't,
It was a thick one that had like 5 questions written on it.
it's not.
Yeah, that was the one about the weight room.
That was Dawn's.
That was Dawn's question about the weight room, because it wasn't in the budget, is it gonna be posted, and it was like 5 questions.
He didn't read the entire question, but because he pulled the item.
That's what it was.
If you want to look at it, I'm more than happy to show you.
okay.
All right, moving on to the agenda. We do not have a lot of time.
Nick, I just wanted to add, my assistant in the other room said the admin costs are, she just calculated 1.6%.
Okay,
And the cost went up to 1.6%, okay.
thank you.
All right, I'm gonna go through the agenda in one shot, so if you have any questions, then we can stop.
Can I just ask a question before we, is there one that we're pulling off?
Yes.
Based on the public comment?
P5A,
Thank you.
page 13, P5A, am I
Okay.
correct? P5A?
Point of information,
That's correct.
correct me if I'm wrong, I thought we're not allowed to go through the agenda on one vote, we have to go section
You're
by
wrong.
section.
You're
No, we can.
Okay.
I already checked the board turn. Okay, I need G1 approval of minutes, G2 reading of policies. S1, nothing, S2, no items, S3, scholarship. I'm just gonna do it real quick, okay? E1, attendance at conferences and workshops, approval of extracurricular trips is E2. Approval of bedside home instruction is U3. P2, resignation and retirements, approval leave of absences, appoint P5A. We got approval of appointment personnel. P6, substitutes, P6B, the superintendent's contract. SC1, approval of tuition, SC2, bedside home instruction for classified students. We got B1A, the budget, approval of preliminary budget. B, maximum travel expenditures. C and D. And then we got F1, approval of gifts, F2, approval of discards, payable bills, payroll, other business, maintenance reserve, ratification of the Fairlawn Board of Education and the Custodial Association contract is F5C. Okay, so I need a motion
So
for
moved.
Second.
G1 all the way to
F5.
F5. Go ahead, Elise and Mike. Can I have roll call, please?
Mr. Banta,
Yes.
Mrs. Frankel,
Yes.
Ms. Quackenbush,
Yes on everything. F1, I'm abstaining on the gift from myself.
Mr. Santana.
Thank you.
No on B1A. No on P, it's in Paul, 6B. Yes on everything else, and thank you to Mrs. Butler.
Okay, Dr. Cohen,
Yes, but I'm abstaining on B1A, and I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Mr. Rosenberg,
Yes on everything except I have to abstain on the residency hearings, I believe I wasn't there. On G1, and I'm abstaining on F5C.
okay. Mr. Aiken,
Yeah, I'm abstaining on P6B, superintendent's contract. I'm abstaining on B1A, the budget. I'm abstaining on F4B. Yes on everything else.
okay, Mr. Spindell,
Yes.
and Mr. Barbarulo.
Yes. Okay, yeah, hold on one second. We have enough folks this time.
Yeah. We only have two,
I just wanna make sure.
yeah.
Yes, go ahead, you wanna say something?
I just want to say thank you for everybody that supported me on my new contract here in Fair Lawn, to extend my stay. I really appreciate it. You know, it's one of the things in Fair Lawn that we pride ourselves on, which is ironic, something I spoke about earlier, is continuity and stability. And as we spoke about continuity and stability in education, there's also continuity and stability in staff, especially superintendents here. You know, Bruce Watson was here for a long period of time, and, you know, I know this was a long road to get to where I'm sitting, being in your seat, the hiring process, and I just, you know, I am all in Fair Lawn. I think you know that. This community has been so gracious to me. It is family to me now, and I just appreciate everybody that supported me here on this contract. And, you know, it's just humbling to be sitting here as superintendent, sitting here as superintendent in the best school district in New Jersey, the best. We look at what we did this week, we didn't skip a beat. We look at what we did last week, we didn't skip a beat. And you know what? I said to my wife, you get the pictures of these kids, that's why we do what we do. That's why we go down and read to the students. That's why we do what we do, because this is the best district, and we do it for our children. We do it for our community. So I want to thank you for extending my stay in Fair Lawn, for lack of a better word. So thank you to all of you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Before I go to new business, I just want to, on behalf of the board, personally, I want to thank you for what you've done in your short time here. You've jumped in, you're very aggressive, and you have nothing but better plans for this district, and the town's thankful for it. And also, you're a very active superintendent in our community, which I've heard a lot of people say that they normally never saw a superintendent, so it's a compliment to you.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, I'm going to open up the board comments to new business. We have 10 minutes, just so everybody know. Mike, Glad.
I want to say a couple of things. First of all, I have seen people begrudging and threatening our superintendent on social media. That is absolutely uncalled for and ridiculous. In my opinion, we have one of the best superintendents that gets himself involved in every single facet of our district. And I personally, and this is my personal opinion, as a resident, a taxpayer, and a board member, am ashamed that I see what I see. Because if you knew what this man does, and if I get called one more time that I don't know what I'm doing as a board member, and that's the opinion that I heard tonight from another board member, that we don't know what we're doing, guess what? I've been elected 4 times to this board, and I know what I'm doing. The people in this town trust me. Once they don't trust me, they'll vote me out. But I'm sick of it.
Thank you. Vlad?
Just really quick, I did send you the math of the budget email on Saturday at 8:08 p.m. You will see it.
I didn't get it, because I read every email, so something must have happened to it. I'm being honest with you.
Okay, I'll forward it again.
Yeah, I'm just being honest with you. I read every email. I'm on my phone every 5 minutes.
I believe it. I believe it. Okay, I'll forward it
I've
again.
seen it happen. I've sent people emails, and sometimes they don't get it either, so. Thank you, though. I appreciate it. What?
We have 7 minutes.
I know. Wilkin?
Yes, I would like to know if we, as board members, are going to have any input on, any updates on the furlong distance learning plan, because we did not have any input on the current one. As a parent of a student in a grade K through 4th, I had to literally sit with my child to help her go over each activity today from 8:50 a.m. until past 1 p.m. Yes, this is a burden on working parents who do not have the luxury of being off from work to be able to literally sit next to their children and walk them through the process. High school and middle school age children should have the independence needed to do this, but elementary age students need parent guidance. My wife had to work remotely for 8 hours and couldn't even speak to our daughter while she was working. If I was at work, the grandparents would not be able to do the technology or work with the internet or elementary school curriculum. So I'm there too. I received feedback from parents, Mr. Norcia, that the laptop pickup was very smooth and hassle-free. So excellent job on that. I was impressed by the plan that was shared with the board 2 days ago. Many districts all over New Jersey do not have a plan. Many districts in New York State, where I work, do not have a plan. We do. Fear of the unknown, second-order changes, total changes to people's routine and habits cause people to have a lot of stress. This is very understandable. I feel empathy for you all. We are the leaders of our community, and we need to understand that and acknowledge it. The district should be sympathetic to people asking questions and respond in a timely fashion, just as teachers are expected to do so. And I believe we have a policy for board members, and how they conduct themselves on social media. So we need to be aware of the board policy that we all agree to for social media and what comments that we put on social media as board members, because what is the point, like many board members said, what is the point of having a policy if we're not following it? All right, so I would like to commend the teachers who did an excellent job, and I would like to commend the parents, and trust me, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel.
So as far as an update, at this point, I think I've given so many updates to the board on a daily basis about where we are with the plan. At this point, I mean, today's day 1. I just gave an update on how we were doing. I'm not ready to give another update at this point. If administration feels we are, I will let the board know.
Emily?
I just want to say that today is day 1. There's a long road ahead. I'm really glad people are doing well, and I just hope that people can maintain that, and that for those who didn't have such a great day, it's totally understandable, and you just take it every hour, really, one moment to the next.
That's it.
I just wish to call on our board and our community just to have compassion and to just meet people where they're at, wherever they're at, with the circumstances at hand. And that I feel privileged that we as a board still have the opportunity to debate budget and talk about conduct on social media, because if and when people start getting sick, it's gonna be a different world. And just to be cognizant and appreciative of the moment where we still have the privilege of being able to expend our energies on these matters. I would like to ask the administration to, and Mr. Verbaloo too, around, to consider the use of video conferencing if we do need to have emergency board meetings over the next weeks before the schools are back open. I feel like as a board, it's the responsible thing to do as a group, given that the situation is so fluid and there are things that administration might want to communicate with us on a meeting and not just a one directional email.
I'm not adamantly against that, it just, in the time frame that we
Yeah,
had today,
that's okay.
this is a little difficult to pull together, but I'm not against looking into that.
Okay, so I hope my board colleagues are
Okay.
open to that, should we need it, for the uncertain road.
Google Hangouts.
That's all.
Thank you. Gene?
Yeah, I just wanna, thank Nick, and I'm gonna paraphrase Rudyard Kipling. Leadership is keeping your head when all about you are losing theirs, and I think that the administration, and to a certain extent this board, have done that. And I say to a certain extent because we're a little bit emotional sometimes, and I understand that, but I wanna say that Nick, I've talked to him a couple of times, emails he sent home, the texts we've gotten, tonight's meeting, and I wanna just say, I think Nick has done an outstanding job, as well as everybody else in the district. And, yeah, it's a fluid situation. It's a situation we've never, ever, ever, ever seen or heard about before. So, things are gonna change, we're gonna have bumps in the road, but I have every confidence that this administration and the teachers and the support staff will do everything that they can and everything they have to do, and that this district will come through this with flying colors. That's it.
Cindy?
I just wanted to say, I agree with everything that Gene said. I just wanted to thank you publicly and personally for being at the helm during a situation that nobody knows in an hour what could happen. I made a remark on social media yesterday when the Amber Alert went off on the phone. It literally scared me. I didn't want to look at the phone because I couldn't imagine what we were going to be told. And the commercials on TV, when we heard them growing up about the boop, you know, this is a public, I'm fully expecting something like that to happen. It's unknown times. People are struggling with losing wages, not being able to go to work, not knowing how long our kids are going to be out of school. And I have all the confidence in the world that you are going to bring us all together. And with the Department of Education giving the guidelines that we're supposed to be planning, we're going to be fine. And thank you.
Just real quick, Emily, yes, I agree with you. Mike and I have spoken about video conferencing. Vlad had brought it up today, but it just wasn't enough time to get it all together. When you guys call me or ask me something, I get on it right away, no matter what, pretty much even when I'm working. The last couple of days have been pretty hectic. He's been on the phone with me a lot about different things. And as you said, Emily, it's changing every hour. It really is. I mean, I just got notified before about certain things in Wayne. Wayne's on a state of emergency now where I work. They're closing Willowbrook tomorrow, Oldham Mall, so it's constantly changing. And today I listened to a guy who said it's gonna, one thing he said that the United States is doing, they're way ahead of the curve. What they're doing right now is gonna save this country 6 months from now. He said that, and I believe that. You know, also, getting back to people, I agree with you, look, and we have a responsibility, but some of the emails that were sent were very nasty to Mr. Garcia. That's not a question, that's an attack. You don't get a response for that. And I'll tell you what, the way some people were about this plan before it even rolled out, wasn't pleasant. And as board members, we're public people, they're gonna take shots. But people were making it personal, and that's what bothered me, okay? They brought personality into it. They brought personality into it, and that really affected me. And as the board president, it's my job to protect our administration and our board. And I made a mistake the other night asking a question, and I got lambasted for about 2 hours. I asked a question that somebody made a comment about, and wound up just going. One thing that people have offered to go virtual, nobody's doing virtual, because I've talked to at least 12 districts, nobody is, because it's too much difficulty, and the state doesn't want that. They've said that to them. But people have said, we'll offer help, that's nice. I don't know about the rest of the Board of Ed, I'm not opening up our technology to anybody that I don't know, even if I know them.
You're here.
Okay, because nobody knows what can go on, so I don't, even us, I don't, let the administration do their job, and they're doing a good job, and if we gotta hit 3, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and there's gonna be kinks, we're gonna make it, we wanna make the best so every child is capable of learning. And by the way, the state has also said they wanna just focus as simple as possible, the education, I've told him, they don't wanna make this complex, where kids are freaking out because they can't get an answer or they can't get something. They wanna keep it simplified and keep moving along. We don't know if it's only gonna be 2 weeks, but I thank all of you for your support, and like I said, they have just been going nuts, and I called them last night at 10 o'clock, I said, "You sleeping?" He goes, "Not really," because something just else changed, so I said, "Okay, what is it?" Real quick,
I just wanted to publicly thank Tedesco, the executive, for being so forward-thinking,
Yes.
because he was way ahead of even the governor and the other
Very-
counties, and I think that he deserves some accolades for that,
No,
because
he does.
this really was necessary, and we had talked about it, from your direction, Nick, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, and I think the fact that Bergen County was so far ahead of everyone else, might possibly have saved us, having a kid come into a building with an illness.
Mr. Farulo, with
Yep.
with your indulgence, may I ask a question, please?
7:30.
There are,
We got 1 minute.
there are employees, I believe the superintendent is aware of that. There are employees, hourly employees who are worried. Is that,
We already said it here, and then somebody actually texted me and I told them they're all being paid.
okay, can the superintendent state that?
Yeah,
again,
the
please?
hourly employee, we've been working with Flea, President Dawn Ebner, she knows that all hourly employees at this point are still being paid.
We voted for it last week. I need a motion to close.
So moved.
Second.
To adjourn, I apologize, to adjourn. All in favor?
So,
Aye.
That's it.